Welcome to a new season of the Premier League, and this is the first episode of the new season. New haircuts, new shirts, new seating arrangements, an intro to our show, and also a new fantasy league that's been set up. The code will be at the bottom. Join, play, enjoy. Anything you guys want to say in the start of the new season, boys?
Yeah, just watch out for that 6th place again.
This has started already.
It's good to see you back in a colourful shirt, though.
Yeah, I'm still keeping a little bit of black there for remembrance of the morning of the last 7 seasons. But yeah, let's rather move on before I start taking more blows.
Already.
It's going to be a long season. Right, so your transfers, Dave.
Transfers, yeah. Transfers in. We'll go through transfers in first. I think they're the most important, apart from one of the transfers out, which is a big loss for us. But transfers in. One of our first was Angelino. So for anyone that doesn't know who he was, he came up through the Manchester City ranks. Then he went out on loan, I think it was to Girona, if I'm not mistaken. And then he got transferred to PSV. Where he was in the Dutch Team of the Year, League Team of the Year, got really good reviews, and then we got him back in, and he's had a dreadful pre-season. I was expecting him, to come in and be assertive about himself and make that role his own, but he's struggled a little bit, and whether that's down to coming back into a team with lots of stars, is he nervous? It's not the Dutch league, it's the Premier League with the Premier League champions.
He's not going to be nervous when you come into his side. Full with superstars.
Yeah, true, but maybe it's going to take him a while to fit in. And then we signed Rodri. So we've been looking for a replacement for Fernandinho for a while. Fernandinho said he's got a season or 2 left. I think everyone's seen how vulnerable City look without Fernandinho when he's been injured, when he's not played. So it's an important position for us with the style of football we play. He breaks play up and he lets players play. He gives the players that can play the ball. We'll see how Rodri's done. He's looked good in pre-season. Made a couple of mistakes against Liverpool in the Charity Shield, but I think it's going to take him. It's going to take him. A bit to get up to scratch. Yeah. But with the bits of play that I've seen, he's got bits of Fernandinho about him. He wins the ball, gets it off, he tracks back. What I would say in the Charity Shield game, he looked a bit tired. He looked a bit leggy in the second half, with which Man City did. But I think that'll come with games and fitness and the speed of. He's going to have to get up to the speed of the Premier League. It's a lot different from the Spanish league. So I'm quite excited about him. And then we brought in Cancelo, right back from Juventus, Portuguese. He was played a lot with Bernardo Silva. He rates Bernardo Silva. I think he had something to do with the deal.
Well, he was sitting at a table having supper with Pep and Cancelo. So
but he looks really exciting. He likes to attack and City play with the fullbacks high up the pitch. So another one I'm looking forward to. This next one's a strange one. Scott Carson. I have no idea.
Don't have to say much about that.
Well, we were hoping that would you have some idea as to why you signed him, because we definitely don't know why he did that.
Whether it's got anything to do with the English quota to bring another, I have no idea. I was thinking about this.
That's a good point, though, right? Because there's still uncertainty about how Brexit would be affected. I mean, if you go down to you're only allowed to have 12 foreign players, right? That means that you need to have another 12 English players. So I think you are probably in the biggest risk because you've got the most foreign players. You're fine. Spurs is
Okay.
fine. United is fine.
Yeah.
So if you're playing Champions League and you're obviously going to compete in all three cups, you need to have a depth in your squad.
Totally.
So maybe that is a reason.
Maybe. I think it's the only reason.
So you know you can think of it. Yeah. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. So I think that's it. Unless there was one made yesterday, which I'm not too sure about.
No, that's it.
So out is Danilo. He was in a part exchange deal for Cancelo. He's had a few good seasons with us, won a few good trophies, but he's never made any position his own. You know, he's always been in and out, and I don't think he's quite got up to scratch with the standard of the team. So, you know, we wish him well on his travels. He gave his all for us. He was never one of them players that, you know, sulked or so yeah. Delph's gone to Everton. Do you know what? When Mendy got injured and Delph had that season, left back, you know, he did well. You know, credit to the boy. But yeah, I don't think he's going to get much game time at City. So, you know, he moves on. Douglas Luiz, he was one that we signed, but we couldn't get a work permit for him or something. So we sent him out to somewhere on loan. He's gone to Villa now, I think.
Villa, yeah.
Yeah, and then the big one, Vinny, Captain Marvel. He's going to be missed. Not just as a player. He's going to be missed in the dressing room, around the club. But you know, I think Vinny did all he could, and you know, his goal against Leicester, I think he thought, I'm gonna bow out on this one. Premier League champions, and you know, I scored a winner, a vital part of the season. So yeah, he's gone on assistant coach at is it Anderlecht? Player coach. Anderlecht, yeah. His boyhood club. So you know, I wish him well. Yeah, he's been a great player and a great ambassador for the club. So yeah, I think that's it on the transfers.
Yeah. Well, let's look at what you predict for the season. Obviously, you know, season prediction, where you're going to finish in the league.
Tough
winners.
Tough for the City fan, isn't it? It's like, where
very,
are you
very
gonna finish?
tough.
Oh, maybe first. Or,
I think we spoke about this last season in our shows. City are only going to get noticed as a top European team once or if we win the Champions League. I still think we're a season or two away. People might disagree, but you know, if we can do what we did last season in the league, I think that would be a great achievement. I think if we can retain it 3 times on the bounce, you do all your hard work and then you become a force round.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
It's not been done since
what you guys,
Ferguson's day, is it?
Yeah, no. You haven't had anybody dominate
Since Fergie.
all the domestic cups since Fergie left, and now City is doing it under Pep. So you know, kudos to City. I think you guys have done well there. I think also your key player being Kevin De Bruyne. That's a good pick.
Yeah, I think it has to be. I think, you know, last season he was in and out of the team through injury, but when he plays, you know, you see the difference.
He was also by far your best player in the Community Shield as well. By far.
Yeah, he's amazing. He can, you know, the passes he sees before, you know, before he even receives the ball. It's another level. So, yeah. His stats: appearances 120, goals 23. I've got assists 46. Passing 84%. That's, you know, and them passes, they're key passes as well. They're not just 5 yard.
Yeah,
he's their key passes.
He's always looking to.
Yeah.
So he's not going to make them all, but.
Yeah.
And this is Premier League stats as well. You know, it is the most difficult league in the world. You know, most competitive league in the world. When you can have 84% passing percentage, and as a midfielder have a 30%, 37% shooting percentage. I mean, that's decent. We spoke about this off the show.
Yeah.
You know, 73% tackling.
Tackling, yeah.
He doesn't go for tackling that much, but obviously when he does, you know, it is successful.
I'm always looking at him now though, like I'm looking at his knee, like don't tackle, like don't just leave it, I don't want him to tackle.
Well, look, let's look at your team setup. I mean, you know, you're going to go for probably a full-on 4-3-3 formation.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any surprises except obviously Zinchenko now taking the position of Delph.
Yeah.
And you know, if you can get Mendy to be fully fit, he probably will come in. But I think for most of the season, you probably would have Zinchenko there.
Yeah.
KDB, Bernardo up in the middle, Rodri and Fernandinho mostly starring.
I would, like they did with Bernardo a couple of seasons, just bed him in, just let him get a taste for it, and then you know
he's going to have games in the cups as well at least.
Yeah. And then Walker and then obviously Cancelo.
Yeah.
I would want to play Cancelo obviously first and put Walker on the bench. I think that's where he should be. People will be stoning me on that.
Do you know what? He's done all right, you know, Walker. He's done all right in pre-season. I know you've, you know, he does make mistakes, and he has made mistakes at, you know, some of the higher games with his passing, but you know, he gives his all, and I think stay with him and then bed Cancelo in just the same as Rodri.
And then obviously on the right wing, your favourite guy, Mahrez.
Well, we were slagging him off last season, wasn't he goes to the African Nations Cup.
Yeah, it wins it.
And wins it.
Yeah,
star player.
One thing we're good on in the show is slagging players off and boosting their careers, clearly.
So
we're good at that.
If he can bring that form back, then play.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah,
if you want us to slag any players off in the season,
just forward the names. We'll do it with
we'll
pleasure.
Boost the form for you.
Look, I think City's discussion and season preview just before the first game, I think is pretty easy. You know? You strengthen when you had to strengthen.
Yeah.
I think Rodri was the right guy to bring in terms of Fernandinho replacement.
Yeah.
And we spoke about it all of last season. Probably the closest player to a Fernandinho that is available.
Yeah.
And I think the rest of the squad is just basically kicking in where you need. And I mean, I think you've got a foundation where you now can put the academy players, pull them up into the ranks, allow them to play with experienced players. Your squad is still fairly young. I mean, De Bruyne is one of the older lads, and he's only 28. Do you know what I mean? So, it's I think it's a good.
The only issue was the centre back.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. I would have, and I think Pep mentioned this. You guys got Maguire. And Pep credited you for that. You know, we couldn't afford him, you could. That's were his words.
I still had to have a chuckle though, because he said, signing Maguire makes them now, you know, like a contender for the league. Come on, one player is going to make a difference. No way.
He definitely wanted to play there.
He did, and I think maybe in January, if you know, if we can strengthen that, then
I agree with that.
But Walker could switch into centre back position.
Yeah,
I know you don't trust him there, maybe, but he's played there before. I think for England possibly.
I always think if you make a mistake,
he's got pace as well, Walker. You know, so
if you make a mistake out here, it's further away from the goal. If you're centre half, if you make a mistake, and he's like you say, he's prone to a few mistakes.
He does make the mistakes,
but look,
we can play Fernandinho centre back.
And I was going to mention that. I mean, you haven't been looking at any centre backs in particular. There's been nothing in the papers.
Maguire, we thought.
Maguire won it.
Yeah,
I think so.
But that was the only one, right?
Yeah.
And I think Maguire wanted to go to United. That's where he wanted to play. And based on that, and I'll mention it later on when we discuss United. But I think that is important. You want players to go where they want to go.
Yeah.
These guys are getting enough money to have to worry about, I'm going to go there because I'm going to get £1,000 a week more. Do you know what I mean? You go and you play for the club that you want to play for.
Yeah.
But other than Maguire, there wasn't really anybody you were targeting.
No, not
which
English
to me
as well.
Yeah, and to me that says you guys are fairly confident with the ones that you have. Obviously Pep sees something there in the squad that we maybe don't know about, but he doesn't look too concerned about the fact that companies.
Well, who are the players in there? Laporte,
Stones, Otamendi, and there's another young centre back.
Otamendi has a lot of experience. What do you think of Otamendi? You think is
a bit like Rojo, a little bit of a loose head sometimes.
Yeah, he's got that mistake in him.
Yeah.
But he is a lot more solid than Rojo.
Yeah, and he came back from the Copa America, and Pep said, "No, go and have a rest," and he was like, "No, I want to play. I want to play." So he's got that. Yeah, he wants to play.
He does seem fiery.
Yeah, so let's see.
Stones is the one that Pep wanted to push on.
Yeah, and progress, and he's not. He's
made a mistake for England, didn't he?
Maybe he's going to give him a bit of time.
Yeah.
Maybe up until Christmas. If he's not pulling his weight, then I think he looks to get someone in January.
Okay.
Well, look, let's move on to Spurs.
But you think you're winning the league? Yeah?
Of course.
That's his prediction.
Yeah.
Of course, it's a prediction.
Anyone
Quiet there.
Anyone challenging you? Or?
Liverpool and
Again,
Spurs.
you think?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
I think if Liverpool, they've not strengthened this year,
not at all.
and they didn't get any injuries last year to their key players. And I think if they do, they've not got many game winners on the bench. Like you've got Salah, Mane, Firmino, and
That's it.
if Van Dijk gets injured, it's like pulling the plug.
Yeah.
All right.
Fair enough. Fair assessment.
Come to Spurs.
Yeah.
Let's see what you've got.
Okay, who we brought in? So all the Spurs fans groups that I'm on, and it's a big debate. Are they happy with the window? Are they not happy with the window? And I think a lot of the fans were happy, not like super excited, but content enough. So we brought in Ndombele, club record signing. He's by far the best signing we've made in a long time, and he'll be my key player. Yesterday, the last day of the window, we had Lo Celso coming in.
On loan.
Celso on loan, but we're covering that is still likely he's going to be signed next season. They just did that financially because he has I think PSG have a buy-on clause, not buy-on clause, sell-on clause. So they make money when better sell him. So I think it was to cover their back. Sessegnon came in. I'm not super excited with him yet. Lots of potential, we've seen it. Was Fulham's player of the season.
English player,
lots of potential.
And he's going to be around better players, I think.
Yeah, I saw his interview, and he was, obviously very excited to play for us. I'm not surprised coming from Fulham.
Have you ever heard a player?
Sorry about that, Fulham player.
Have you ever heard a player say, "I didn't want to come in"?
No, he's excited. He was talking about idolising Gareth Bale when he was playing for Spurs, which I found, fair enough. I mean, Bale was a great player for us at Spurs, so if he can replicate Bale's form for us, I'd be very happy. He's only 19 still. One for the future, and hopefully this season Poch can improve him. And Clark, who's gone back on loan, Leeds. Yeah. So really, we've got the three players in that are going to play. So Ndombele, we'll just mention him in a minute as the player of the season or the key player. Celso, I've got to admit, I've only just started looking at his highlights and what he can do. Left-footed, of the mould of Eriksen, can spot some key passes. So hopefully he can assist Harry Kane if he's playing. Sessegnon, he's going to. I think he'll be bedded in like you were talking about over the season. Yeah, lots of potential. So hopefully he can kick on. So that's the ins, the outs. Key one will be Trippier. Yeah. As everyone knows, I was killing him last season, so you can thank me for him going. He's
going to get player of the season.
He said himself, he admitted himself, he knows why. He just didn't perform up to what he should be doing for whatever reason. We don't know why. That was the World Cup, or he didn't play well last season. So he got moved on. Yeah. Good luck to him at Atletico. He's gone to a great team. So fair play to him. We had Llorente going out, didn't renew his contract. So we thank Llorente's hip against hand against Man City last season. We had a few others going out. We had the goalkeeper Vaughan going out. We had Onuma going out he went to Fulham, didn't he? Yeah. So but the key one will be Trippier, I guess, is the big one. And we still have some time left for international windows.
So you can get Eriksen to leave?
I believe Eriksen will leave. Still, I think Atletico are rumoured to be in for him. It's the only team who are left in there for him, probably. And to be honest, now I would like to see Eriksen go. I think lots of fans just said, like, if you don't want to play for the club, you can go. So it's fine.
I think that's everyone's opinion.
It's the same as PSG with Neymar. Yeah, great player, fantastic player. but shitty attitude, doesn't really want to play for PSG.
Child.
And they're going like, okay, well then go. Yeah. You might be a great player, but if you don't want to play for the club, please go. You know?
Eriksen's done lots for Spurs, and I'm not going to wish him bad luck. So hopefully he can be moved on though. So Celso coming in his place can just take over. Otherwise, we're going to have a bit of an issue with Eriksen not being super happy maybe this season.
The only thing that I would say is that we are only recognising the players that have been sold or released. Okay, we're not even looking at players that have been left out on loan because you still retain them essentially. Yeah. However, you've let 10 players go, right? You've brought 5 players in, but one is already left again on loan. One is a complete unknown, this Itete. I know nothing about the boy. I haven't looked into him,
I'll be honest.
And then you've got the Celso who's also on loan. So basically you've bought 3 players, sent one out, but you've already got 10 that's left and you're possibly going to have 11.
Yeah, we have a couple of players that are just coming in from the youth side that are just starting to make their way in. Okay. We have Troy Parrott up front, who's not been loaned out, so he's going to be Kane's, backup maybe, potential. We have the centre back, Tangana. He's had a good pre-season, so
he looked decent. I must be honest.
Yeah.
He so looked all right.
A couple of players there that weren't there last season that will hopefully perform some part of the team in the cup games or whatever it might be. We do look like we have the 2 teams we could possibly field. It's looking a bit better in terms of strength and depth. Last season, we saw the end of the season, we were just out of it basically. I think we had no depth, and Kane went missing. Even though some players performed well, like some came and did well, we were struggling with Ali was out. We didn't have the strength and depth that we have now with Ndombele coming in. So that midfield looks very strong.
Before we move to your season prediction, do you think Poch will be there at the end of the season? Because I think he'll want to leave.
It's totally up to whether Zidane's at Madrid. That's it. That's what I can say.
Because I can't imagine that.
Who else is there?
But for me the thing is just, if I look at Pochi, right, you finished runners up, you got close to into 7/8 of the season, chasing to potentially still win the league. Yeah. And then you look at what other teams have done, and you look at yours and you go like, okay, so you brought a 19-year-old and you gave me Ndombele, but basically you didn't give me anything else where I can really strengthen and say, right, now we're going to make a real push the next season. He wants to win cups.
In Levy's defence, which I'm not one to jump to his defence, he was trying for Dybala. Sounds like he was really putting effort in to get him. And
the image rights just
as United found out his image rights, and which is a joke, and Dybala apparently is upset about it. Yeah. If we'd got him, I mean, obviously, if he's a sort of player you'd want, then you're getting backed, aren't you? He's a world-class player. Yeah. And Poch couldn't have said anything if he came in, but without him coming in, it's a little bit thin maybe on players in, but.
I just got the feeling when we looked at his interview where he said maybe they should change my role.
No, yeah, he was upset. No,
yeah, he was clearly upset.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's be honest. Which I almost feel prompted Levy to go and say, okay, well look, I might lose my manager. Yeah, I need to show some intent, because for the entire season there was nothing, or for the entire transfer window there was nothing about you guys going for any really big players apart from obviously getting Ndombele quickly. There wasn't anything else.
Well, Dybala was behind the scenes, is what I'm hearing. We were going for him for a while, but it just came out in the news at the end. But I know, man, you jumped in.
I'm not sure you've been in it for a long time. Because if you were in it for a long time, you would have resolved the image rights issue.
Apparently, it's unsolvable. These image rights issues are huge. That's a pain. But one player maybe is short of what it could have been. If a Dybala type player had come in, you say, wow, it's an amazing window. Defensively, we were still okay because we didn't lose any of them yet. Trippier, okay, fair. But central defenders stayed. No. Toby stayed. Rose still has a chance to go out, maybe. So Danny Rose is one. I'm happy we've kept him so far. But our issue was, when we lose games, we lose them by small margins. So, and Ndombele, we're hoping is going to fix that.
Yeah. Well, I think he is. I'm pretty upset that you guys got him and we didn't.
Yeah, I said to Johan, I didn't look at this guy's. Johan spotted this guy in March, you said?
Yeah.
So he's the first guy to scout him. Stats man. I didn't even look into him then. I only looked into him when we were linked with him.
Yeah.
And then I looked at his highlights, and he looks like a real solid player, you know.
He is, but he's got to be played in the right position though.
Yeah.
You know, for Lyon, he drifted behind the midfield, so he was just like almost like a 4-1 and then 4, and he just drifted behind the player, and he was dominant. He was absolutely dominant. And when you played us in the preseason, Pochi moved him to the left central midfield role, and he was obviously, because of where he was playing, he wasn't allowed to drift as much as he did, and we just spotted that and went like, well, if we can't get through on his side, we'll just go the other way.
I think
and that's how we.
He has to work it out. I don't think he 100% will know just yet.
Yeah.
Maybe where he's sticking him, which is a problem. But if he can find his right position, then.
Well, look. Let's look at his stats. I mean, if we look at this, is his La Liga stats or league.
He's 96 appearances, as you said, for Lyon. 6 goals. I mean, he's not known as an out and out. Obviously, he's not out and out goal scorer.
Yeah.
But he has some goals in him. 16 assists, which I think is decent for a more defensive-minded player. Has the best passing accuracy out of all the players we're mentioning, 89%, very good. Like you said with De Bruyne, he does. Obviously, De Bruyne's passes aren't comparable if they're always forward, but he doesn't make bad passes. And Dembele is good, so he does obvious short passes, whatever it is. Shooting 21%. Okay, it's not setting the world alight, but I've seen him in pre-season and his highlights, and he can shoot, which Sissoko, as we know, couldn't shoot. So he can't shoot at all. He's like 1% on me. So he'll get some goals, I believe.
I think if you look at Ndombele's stats, right, 89% passing and 72% tackling. To me, that tells me that's a perfect player in a defensive midfield role. Because one, you're winning the ball, right, and then distributing it, and that's what you want.
Yeah.
Okay. You don't want to have a guy that can tackle 80% but distribute only like 65%.
I would like to see Rodri's stats. Actually, we didn't bring him up. Obviously, we'll talk about it in another show. And are they better than Rodri's stats?
I don't think Rodri's stats can be better than Ndombele's.
Can't be better than 90% passing.
No, there's no way.
And Ndombele is a physical specimen. Looking at him, he's one of those, I said, SEN type players when he's played for Chelsea, Vieira, Torre for City. He's strong. He's made for the Premier League, right? He's strong.
Well, look, you made the prediction you're going to be in the top 4, which I think you will be.
My prediction is top 4. I think Liverpool are not going to do as well as they did last season, and if we can hold on to our form for longer, we can challenge Liverpool. Arsenal have improved maybe this season. United, okay, I'm not going to. Although I diss them, they could be there if they want, potentially. So I think anywhere down from 2nd to 5th, 6th is open again. So we could finish 2nd, 3rd, 4th, but I think in top 4 is my prediction, and there's no reason why we shouldn't. With our experience, the last 2, 3, 4 seasons, we should be pushing on even more again with experience. So,
I think the top 5, 6, barring Chelsea, have all strengthened apart from Liverpool.
Yeah, and away from it, we took Everton and Wolves as well.
Yeah, Everton, Wolves, Dave.
Well, look, I mean, a lot of people are talking about teams bringing new players and not bringing new players, and if you look at the previous season. How many did you bring in?
0.
Not much, right?
None.
Exactly. United had 1 player. How many did Chelsea do? 2 players on loan. How much did City do? 1 player.
Yeah.
You don't. It's not that you need to bring in players every single season. It's about what you do with the players that you have, right? Yeah. And I think that is a strength. I do think though that Chelsea is in trouble because that transfer ban hit them. Yeah. Hazard left. They made Kovacic permanent, and they've renewed some of their players. But now it's going to be academy players and a few.
Luis gone.
Yeah,
so the central back
Sideshow Bob is going to
one of their rivals,
Arsenal.
Chelsea, I didn't even mention
for only 8 million, by the way, which I think was damn good business for Arsenal. 8 million for Sideshow Bob.
There was must have been some issue there with him. He's just like you said, Lampard might not have.
I think that.
I think Lampard. Look. While Lampard was still playing, at that time, there were issues already with people saying he's too lazy, he's not committed. Lampard now becoming obviously the manager would be going like, hey, listen, if I can pull your socks up and start drilling.
Yeah.
You know?
He wants a certain type of player in, doesn't he? If a manager comes in and that player's not what he wants, then
100%. And especially if there's a history. Yeah. If there's a history, you know it's going to happen.
Yeah.
So
that's my prediction. Top 4, definitely better than last season with the depth, I think, but still not enough to challenge City for the league.
The only thing that I would mention, which is interesting for me, is obviously with Sessegnon, we're saying is going to link with Son on the left wing. I think that's probably where he should be playing.
Yeah.
Like you said, for Fulham, he kind of played that left wing, left back kind of role. But I think that's probably going to be a better position.
Yeah, if he idolised Gareth Bale, for example, then he's thinking in that mould, attacking, left-sided, and he has the potential to do it. The team we were discussing earlier is mostly sorted, although we were discussing the issue with Ndombele, Sissoko, Winks. That sort of, he has to work that out. I think that's an issue for him. Yeah. He might not be 100% certain.
Well, look, it's a nice problem to have, right? You've got strong, good midfielders.
Ndombele coming in
to have it, they're not.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Rather scratch my head about like who am I going to play, and scratch my head about what have I got to.
It's better. It's better. Ndombele coming in. We talked about players bedding in. I don't think he's going to give him time to bed. I think he has to stick him in the deep end. Hopefully, he's not like one of those players who's going to have to bring in. He has to go in and hopefully.
Yeah. Apart from the United game where he was kind of, contained to the left side, the other games looked fine.
Yeah.
So I truly think play him in the position where his strengths are, rest him behind, allow Sissoko to maybe push up a little bit.
Yeah.
Make a few important runs. Not to shoot, just make a few important runs.
I'm going to say behind Ndombele in terms of importance is that creative player.
Yeah.
So Eriksen last season was not on it because his mind was off. So if Celso is coming in that position, I'm hoping he hits the ground running, and Ndombele will provide a bit more going forward as well. So that's what we need. We need some more goals this season.
Okay.
And that's it.
Well, let's look at United. So we got Daniel James, good player, really, really fast. I mean, every time.
Faster than that. He's faster than that.
He's
turbo.
I'm telling you, and we joked about this off the show, but it's truly like you've tied McDonald's Big Macs to his back and told him to run through Somalia. He is really that quick when he gets on the ball. It's amazing. It is absolutely. He's just so quick, and it's on grass as well. He's just amazing. But he can't shoot for his life, though. I'll be honest with you. I've watched all the preseason games. He cannot shoot to save his life, but he's going to create problems.
Yeah.
He's going to create opportunities. He's going to pull defenders, which will create more opportunities for the likes of Martial and Rashford and potentially even Pogba. And I think that's going to be important. Misaka coming in has been amazing. I know a lot of people said, when he played for the under-21s for England, they said, okay, well maybe he's not that great, and maybe he looked great because he played at Palace, and it's easier to stand out. But he slotted in so naturally to the United team, and it just looked so good from the get-go. I mean, he's I'm sure that he's descending from spiders. There's just no way. Nobody gets past him. And his tackling, his ability to see the tackle and know when to go in for it. And sliding tackles, like you said, when we looked at it, it's a dying art. Everybody says stay up, don't go in hard. This boy obviously doesn't listen. No, he just goes in, but he tackles well.
Instincts, isn't it? Yeah. If he knows he can get that, it's your instinct. He's not got a lot of time to think about that. Young
player, English player. I mean, the way that we've gone about the window, and I know there's been a lot of people that have slacked United off because of the window, but the way that we've gone about it is very reminiscent of Fergie's era. Young English talent being pushed into the United team and said, go and play, and I like that. I really do like that. I would have loved to see maybe one more, I won't say high profile, but like an experienced midfielder coming in. With Herrera going, which is the only of all the players that have gone out, Herrera is the only one that I'm upset about because he disrupted play. Nobody wanted to come near him when they had the ball and they know Herrera is going to come for them. So I'm sad about him leaving. But the rest, Lukaku, even Wilson. Wilson was proven, he scored a goal on his debut when he came on and promise about it, and they loaned him out to give him opportunity to improve. Never did that. So fair enough, let him go. But and then Maguire, we strengthened where we needed to strengthen.
Yeah,
that's all I can say about the window. A net spend of only £70 million, I think, is good for United. Previous spending always being excessive. Net spend of 70, and we spend in the right areas.
Can I just say, I think any one of our grands could have gone in at centre half, and that would have strengthened you.
That is true. That is true. That is true. But at least this is an elevation, right? This is an elevation.
No, Maguire, good signing for you. Good signing.
Yeah. But if you look now, and I mean, in the United groups, there's a lot of talk about what's going to happen to Smalling and Jones, and why haven't you sold them? Well, great backup players. I mean, yes, they're questionable if they are your regular starters. But as backup, it's very good backup to have. And again, they're English. So your squad will always be 24. And especially when you're going to be playing on a Thursday and then having to play on a Saturday or a Sunday again. You need that depth. So, I can't be upset about our transfer window. In terms of the season, top 6 is probably a realistic expectation. I'd be happy with the top 6.
Last season,
I think we'll play better than last season. But if you look at all the other teams, they've gone with experienced signings. The likes of Ndombele is a great signing for you. We haven't signed somebody with that type of experience. Oh, you can say Maguire, but Maguire is not that type of mould in terms of his play, right? You guys signing Rodri, again, guy with a lot of experience, really good player, and it's a key position. Us, your midfield is where most of your players are going to be, right? So 50 to 55% of your players are going to be in the midfield. We've got Pogba there, but Pogba needs support. Pogba is definitely going to be my key player. But you've now got McTominay, who's still coming up. You've got Pereira, who looks fantastic in pre-season, and I'm hoping that I'm right in saying that he's going to be a regular starter. But you've got these two players that's going to have to be supporting Pogba and allow them the opportunity to gain that experience. I think not this season, but maybe the next season we can challenge for top 4, and maybe the season after that we can say, right, now we title contenders again. But that's only if we keep this group. Pogba going to be the main guy. 95 league appearances, 24 goals, 23 assists, shooting 36, passing 84, tackling 70. He is a very good player. Okay, when we put the personal things aside, and we look at his stats, he's a top class player.
They're all similar, aren't they? Like we were
Again,
saying,
all similar. Only difference being that Ndombele is slightly more defensive, whereas Pogba and De Bruyne are slightly more attacking. But overall, I mean, the stats are really, really close. So you can't say one is better than the other. They're very good players. He's a very good player. He needs the support. And I think Pogba wants to play for United. I think he wants to probably move on to Real in the future.
I think,
but I also feel he needs to show that, hey, I've done something when I came back.
I've not just give up.
Exactly. And so I think he wants to play. In terms of our setup for the season, Maguire will obviously slot in next to Lindelof. I think it's a very good pairing. Shaw will be the left back regular, Misaka will be the right back regular, and I think that's a fantastic back four there. I think probably barring maybe Liverpool, I think it's probably the best back four pairing that you can look at.
I think Liverpool has to be number one because how many assists?
Exactly.
The wing backs
Robertson, Matip, and
Robertson.
Van Dijk,
Arnold.
and and then Arnold.
Yeah,
it's a great
best defence in the league.
Midfield, Pereira and McTominay. I think Matic will replace Pereira when we're playing against the top teams, City, Liverpool. Those I think they will go a little bit more defensive, whereas Pereira is slightly more attacking. In pre-season, the chemistry between Pogba and Pereira looked phenomenal. It looked like they understood each other. They were playing off each other. Pogba looked less frustrated, which is a key for me because I think that allows him that freedom to play the way he wants to play. And then Rashford will be on the left. Personally, I think that's where he should be playing. He's looked good when he played there. When he came on in his first season, he played there, and that's where he made a name for himself. And then last season, he wanted to start playing central a little bit more. But I think that left side is where he should be.
Yeah.
Martial in the pre-season looked good in the centre, so keep him there. He could even drop back and be a false nine, and maybe overlap with Rashford, keep the defence guessing. James on the right, but this is who I'm truly excited about. This Mason Greenwood, wow, serious talent.
How old is he?
He's only like 19 years old, but again, a player that's not scared. He didn't look phased. He didn't look. Even when we played Spurs, he just looked like it's just another game. I don't care who's defending me. I don't care who's marking me, who I'm playing against. If I'm getting the ball, I'm going to play. And really good player. So I think between James and Greenwood, that right side role will be there. I think Mata will still play a role, but when Mata does play, I don't think he's going to play on the right. He's probably going to be in that 10, creating play, linking play up, and go from there. But yeah, that's United. I don't think there's going to be lots of surprises. I think most of the teams will be able to say, that's the possible play. It's going to be a 4-5-1 with the two wingers going up, and that's the way we're going to play. But we're going to be playing high pressing. Every game in pre-season, we pressed high, and it was all fast breaks. So yeah, I think the play is set. But top 6, if we get top 6, I'll be happy.
I'm sure you're going to get. Yeah, I'd be surprised if you didn't make that. I mean,
well, you look at the likes of Wolves. Still look good. Wolves kept their team. They kept all their loan players. They made some of them permanent, which is good for them, because that was always the worry when your loans are going to go. What are you going to do? So they made them permanent. That's great. Everton has strengthened again in the right places, brought in the right type of players. So I think those two are definitely going to be up there. Leicester City also hasn't done bad. They've let Maguire go, but the players again that they've brought in, great players supporting.
I think that's a big loss for them, though, Maguire.
They didn't replace him, did they?
Big loss.
No, they haven't replaced him, but let's be honest, 80 million.
Yeah, they couldn't say that.
Who's going to say that?
No, I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying it's a big loss.
So you're going to lose something there.
I think.
Exactly.
I think they could feel that, I think.
But what would you have done, right? Would you have kept the player? Denied him the opportunity? No. I think this is going to be the problem.
Why didn't they eye someone up? That's why I'm surprised.
I honestly think because
they knew the whole window.
I think United was very smart, right? They kept on pushing it aside, saying, "No, we won't pay it. We won't pay it. We won't pay it. We won't overpay for anybody," and that's just it. And then they stuck to it. You know, all the players that they could have gotten bought out and paid high salaries and what, they just went like, "No, this is where we're going to go. That's what we're going to stick to." So I don't think at any point Leicester City felt like, "Oh, we're definitely going to get 80 million for the player," because they did that with Misaka, with Palace. They just went like, "We're not going to pay you 70. You're crazy. We're not going to pay you." So done. This is what we're going to pay, and you either take it or you leave it. In the end, they took it. So what would be a point to keep Misaka if you know the boy wants to leave? And this is the problem now that they're going to have with Zaha. I don't think it's going to be a good season for Zaha.
Is he going to sulk?
He's going to sulk. Of course, he's going to sulk.
Yeah.
He sulked at United and sucked, right? Went back to Palace, was again the main guy, and he was happy.
If he's smart though, he's going to have to play well again this season.
Get a move in January or something.
Well, maybe January, but end of next season. I think they've.
Why said he's going to be?
He's going to get a season.
He's going to be there for a season.
Yeah, he said, look, next year go, but whilst you're here, you're going to have to play well.
Yeah.
Well, look, I'm excited about this.
Yeah, it's back.
I'm really excited.
Starts today.
Starts this evening. Liverpool Norwich.
Come on, Norwich.
Predictions for the game?
3-1 Liverpool.
I'm going to say 5-0. Liverpool.
6-0 Norwich.
In the yellow card, because in the yellow card statement.
The new Oracle. So yeah, there you have it. That's our predictions and previews for the season ahead. Again, I'll put the number of the code of our fantasy league down at the bottom of the screen. Please
join us.
Yeah, join us. It's going to be fun. Have a good one.